Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the third tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to have a look at two things. The first thing that we're going to check out is the MySQL Workbench utility, and the second thing that we're going to check out is the MySQL command line client. Right, so this is the icon for the MySQL Workbench utility, and what I've done is I've created a shortcut on the taskbar, right? So I've pinned the program to my taskbar so that I don't have to go to start and then type in the name of the program every time I have to access it. And since we will be using it frequently, I would suggest you to either pin it to the taskbar, or you can create an icon on the desktop, or you can proceed as is convenient for you. So when I click on it, I see something like this, right? So this is my start page, or the welcome page, or the home page. You can call it whatever you want to, and the MySQL people, they call it the Workbench Central, right? So this gives you three options. The first one is SQL development, as you can see towards the left, and in the middle we have data modeling, and then we have server administration, right? And we are initially going to be interested in SQL development because we want to learn how to use SQL, right? These things are also really cool, and we're probably going to check them out later on in this course or maybe in other courses, but for the time being, let's stick to this. So you can see that it's written here that you need to open a connection to start querying, right? So at the moment, in the box below, I see two connections. One is connection one, is the other one is MySQL for Excel connection. And I'm going to double click on this connection one thing, right? And when I double click on it, I see this window in which I'm asked for my password, right? So in the last tutorial, when we installed MySQL, we learned that while installing, you need to create a password for the root account for the server, right? So that's the password that you have to use here, and I use my name as the password. So I'll type in that, and when I press the enter key or click on OK, I see this this thing, right? So this is the text editor portion, you can call it, and this is the place where you're going to type in your SQL queries, and the output of your queries would be displayed in the output section, right here at the bottom, right? And some other things that you can see are, you see this object browser thing on the left side, right? So this lists all the databases that you have in this connection. So I have Sakila as one database, Strepsils as another, and Test and World, right? And if I click on a drop down for World, I can see the tables inside the World database, the views inside the World database, routines, and views and routines are also database objects, and we'll talk about them later on. But tables, we know what tables are, right? So if I click on the drop down for tables, I can see how many tables are there in the World database. So currently I have 3 tables, one city, one is country, and one is country language. And the World database we installed as a sample database, I talked about in the last tutorial, right? And if you want more information about your city table, then you can click on the drop down for city, and you can see what all columns are there in it, and if you have any constraints like foreign keys, and if you have indexes or triggers for the table, then you can check them out too, right? So this is too much information for this tutorial. I just want you guys to be familiar with the look and feel of this application, right? It's an amazing application, and we're going to use it quite a lot, so let's just be comfortable with it from the beginning. And if you want to create a new tab for your SQL file, you can either press Ctrl T, or you can go to File and then click on New Query tab, right? And we're going to run SQL queries by typing them in here, right? So there are two ways in which you can run. Either you can use the control combination, Control Enter, or you can go to Query, and then if you want to execute all the queries that are there in the text editor section, then you can press Control plus Shift plus Enter. If you want to execute the last statement or the current statement, then you can press Control Enter, right? So we're gonna check that out later on. For the time being, just know that this is the application that you have to use to type in your SQL queries and then to execute your SQL queries by connecting to databases, right? And the next thing that we're going to check out is the MySQL command line utility, right? So I'll go on Start, I click on Start, and then I'll click on MySQL 5.5 command line client, right? And when I click on this, I see this application is asking me for my password again, right? So again, I'll type in my name and press the enter key. When I press the enter key, I get this message, welcome to MySQL monitor, and blah blah blah, commands end with a semicolon, and we know all that, right? And again, you have this MySQL word, and you have this arrow, and then you can type in your statements in here, right? So if you want to adjust the height or width or the background color of this window, then you can right click anywhere, and then you can click on properties, You can go to layout and you can select, what height you want, what width you want, and what should be the buffer size and window position and stuff. You can go to colors and you can adjust the screen background, and you can go to font and you can select the size and stuff. So you can do all that, but mostly in this course we are going to use the Workbench utility. We're not going to use the command line client much, but then you need to know how to execute SQL queries using both, right? Because certain organizations think that the Workbench utility, although it's amazing, it's fabulous, I just love it, but some people think that it's not too reliable, right? So they would prefer using the MySQL command line client, and they would ask you to use it, right? So you need to know how to execute queries using both. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I'm going to see you in the next one, in which we'll discuss something interesting and important for sure. And please subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.